Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm finally going to be sharing with you an updated makeup collection video. If you want to see my old one, it will be linked down below, but please do not judge me because it was right when I started YouTube. I put it up in like 4 parts. It was kind of crazy, but I have since changed the entire way I store and organize and just keep my makeup. So if you guys want to see my full updated makeup collection video, then please just keep watching. I did want to say though and apologize for the audio because when I took my camera over to my little IKEA drawers, I didn't take my microphone because I thought it'd be too fussy and too hard to figure out. So I did film the audio on my actual camera. So if it sounds a little bit echoey, that's why, but let's get into it. Okay, so for starters, I do have 2 of the big 9-drawer IKEA chests, or whatever you want to call these things. And I did get them at IKEA. I find them really helpful, and I know a lot of girls have them. As you can see, the one on the left Jerome's actually using, and then the one where I have all of the drawers pulled out is the one that I'm using for all of my makeup. And no, I don't have it all filled up. I really just have about half of it filled up, but it has room to grow, which I love. So I really would recommend these IKEA drawers. I mean, a lot of girls use them for a reason. The drawers come out really nicely. They're very, very deep, so you can keep a lot in them. So let's go ahead and get on to the first drawer. Starting with the first drawer, I have nothing in here other than the little instructions for putting this thing together. And yes, it's from IKEA, so there is a lot of worry surrounding putting this entire thing together, but honestly, it wasn't too bad for me at all because I used a drill, so I would definitely recommend that. Getting onto this second drawer is one that is very bare right now, but I'm really excited for it because this is a drawer that has a lot of products that are nice products, but ones that I just don't think I'm going to use a lot. So I'm going to throw any samples in here or just any products that I don't end up loving to give away to my family members or my friends. Getting onto these next 2, both of these are actually bare, and this is where I'm going to show you the little organizers that I have for all of these drawers. I do have a few bigger ones which I will show you for more of my face products, but these are from the Container Store. I got all of these at the Container Store and I really like them, and it was really hard to choose honestly because these don't actually fit exactly perfectly in these little drawers, so that was a little bit frustrating, but I do like the acrylic ones. Yes, they are a little bit pricey, but I definitely feel like it's an investment that I'm going to use and that I'm really going to enjoy because it's going to keep everything organized. So these 2 are the same, both of these little organizers, and these just have I think 5 little sections, and I like that they all vary in size, so I'll be sure to put a link, hopefully a direct one, to these exact organizers down below for you. Finally, getting onto some fun stuff, this is my eye drawer, and I don't know exactly why I started with my eye stuff, but this is just how it turned out. Up here I have a lot of liners and a lot of these like cream eyeshadow products in the stick form. I have a couple from Laura Mercier, I have one from NYX, one from Pixie, and then also a few liners in there as well. I also love keeping a lot of these mascara samples in here because whenever I do like friends makeup or something, I love just using one of those and then giving it to them afterwards. I then have all 5 of the Black Radiance Trios, and these are super fun because they're very, very colorful and they're very inexpensive, so I just picked those up when I saw them just because I could use the color in my collection, but I didn't want to pay a lot. And then I just have a lot of just samples of eyeshadow primers because I don't wear eyeshadow every single day, so I love just using up these little sample sizes. Back here I do have some eyeshadows, and these are more just like bigger package singles. So I have a lot from e.l.f. I have this tiny little Too Faced palette that I got a very, very, very long time ago that I still really like. Those colors are very pretty. I have one from Jessie's Girl, which I think I got in like Ipsy, and then this Laura Mercier kind of quad, I guess you could say, but the packaging's a little bit bulky, so I do keep it back here. And then I also have a few little palettes in here, one from Wet n Wild, I think this is the Walking on Eggshells one, and then one from Physicians Formula. And then in here I do have just a few little odds and ends, just kind of single packaged eyeshadows that tend to be really bulky. My favorite one in here though is probably this one from Christian Dior, and this one is beautiful. It's one of their Mirror Shine eyeshadows or something, but this is definitely a go-to. I actually need to pull that out so that I can start wearing it. But other things in here are just like a little paint pot, a couple of the tattoos, one of these Mary Kay cream eyeshadows that I don't use a whole lot, but it is a very pretty purple color. And then on the side here in this little baggie, I just have one random Makeup Geek eyeshadow. And this is when I ordered my Z palette. They sent me the eyeshadow in Last Dance, and I ended up filling up the Z palette and then not having any room for this one. So I just keep it in this little baggie so it doesn't get messy. And then in the front here, I just have a lot of random mascaras that are full size. and I just keep them up front just so they're kind of out of the way, but if I want to reach for them, they're definitely within reaching distance, I guess. And some of the ones I have are the I Love Extreme Crazy Volume Mascara from Essence. I have one from CoverGirl. I have the Miss Manga mascara, which I haven't used in a really long time, and then also this Bombshell one by CoverGirl that I remember loving. And I forgot to mention that all of the ones we've been talking about so far are these skinny little drawers, and now getting onto the 4 bigger drawers. And in this first one I keep all of my face products. There is something about this drawer when I open it and see all of this stuff, I just get so happy. I have no idea why. But starting in the back, I do have some brushes. A lot of these are just kabuki brushes. This one is from the Fergie Wet n Wild collection, and then I also have this one from Tarte, which I can use with this powder, which is up front, which we'll talk about in a second. But just a few little odds and end brushes, but more of these like kabuki style ones back here. I then also have some of these like cream cheek products, I guess you could say. I have one from Lipstick Queen, one from the Maybelline Dream Bouncy blushes, which I don't use a whole lot, but I know a lot of people love them. I also have a couple from Tarte. This is one of their super old ones. Do you guys recognize this? If you do, leave me a comment down below because I have had this for so darn long. It's so funny. And I also have one from Revlon, which I've used in a few tutorials. And then in this little section right here, I have just more bigger packaged face products. This is the Mally what is this called? Evercolor Poreless Face Defender. And if you guys haven't seen this, It's Duty Time talked about it forever ago, but it's almost like a clear setting gel kind of thing. It's very similar. Well, actually, CoverGirl tried to come out with a very similar product recently, but this stuff is way better, but it's way more expensive. I don't use it all the time though, but it does leave your skin looking and feeling very, very smooth and very soft. So, and then I just have the 2 tone correcting powders from e.l.f. I haven't really given these a good try yet, but I know that my friend Emily absolutely raves about them, so I need to, because I don't know, there's something about those colors that just make me happy. In this other little section, I have the Wet n Wild Fergie translucent powder, which actually goes with that kabuki brush that I just showed you. And I don't know, guys, when I used to use this, when I first got it after it first came out, I was so impressed with it. I really need to break it out again because it's almost just like a translucent powder, but it has that glow to it, and I was really happy with this. And then in here, I also just have a random tiny little face highlighter, and this is one that I just recently got in a beauty subscription. Going back to this middle section is fairly long, and this is a bigger organizer than the ones I've showed you already. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 compartments, so I'll have a link hopefully to it down below for you guys. But in the back here, I just have a lot of my face primers. Now, I don't use face primers a whole lot, but I do keep them in here just in case. And one is from Beauty UK, one is from Makeup Forever, which I've had for literally ever. That's probably really embarrassing. And then a Laura Mercier one as well. And then I also do just have a few of the bigger samples in there as well to maybe grab when I'm feeling like it. And then up front here, I have, I think, all of my MAC blushes. I have a few here, one in Rosy Outlook, one in Pinch O Peach, and also one in Dainty. And I don't use these a whole lot, but they are very gorgeous colors. Now, moving on to all of my foundations, I'm probably not going to go through every single one of these, but I do have quite a few. I have the CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous foundation. You can see it peeking out right there. I also have one from Beauty UK, which I have a very old video on, and that primer is actually in that video too. And then I have my Chanel Vitalumiere Aqua foundation. I have a very love-hate relationship with this stuff, guys. Like, I either love it or I hate it, and honestly, I'm just not a huge fan. I feel like a lot of people are, but I don't rave about it like everybody else. Then I have the Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation, the Revlon Color Stay Whipped. I also have the Laura Mercier Silk Cream foundation, which I find to be a little bit heavy, and I'm one for full coverage, but whenever I apply this, it's like you have to be so careful with how much you apply that I always overdo it. I don't know. And then I have one in the back here from Shiseido, which I don't use very often, one from Mary Kay, and a couple others from Wet n Wild and Revlon back there. And we might as well move on to this little palette right here, and this is the BH Cosmetics 10 Color Concealer Palette. And I don't use this a whole lot, honestly. I do weddings occasionally, and I just did one, so I took the blush version of this out, but that's beautiful too. So normally that blush one is in here as well. Getting onto this bigger section right here, I kind of pushed it back so you guys could see it, but this has just some blushes and also face powders. One in here is the Tarte one. This is the Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Airbrush Foundation, which I do find a little bit drying in the winter, but my shade is Fair Honey, and my friend Emily also raves about this. I also have the IT Cosmetics Celebration Foundation in Fair. I do have a full video on this if you guys are interested. And then also I have some blushes in here. This one is one of my favorites. This is the Mosaic Face Powder from NYC, and this is in the color Pink Chink Glow. I used to use this a ton when I first started my channel, and seriously guys, for the price, this blush is amazing. I also have a Wet n Wild highlight that one of my subscribers told me about, so I had to go pick it up. I then have, what is this? This is from Bare Minerals, and it's just the mineral veil. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why I just have that and not like everything else. And then getting on to some of the blushes, I have a few from Milani, actually quite a few from Milani. You can tell I like my Milani blushes. One from Hourglass, my very, very old NARS Orgasm blush, which is my all-time favorite. I seriously wore it literally every single day for years, and I need to break it back out or get a new one because this packaging is like so dirty. I also have one of the in-stain ones from the Balm, one from Cargo in this little sample, and then I think, is this, actually yes, this is a bronzer, just a little sample size of the Chocolate Soleil bronzer from Too Faced. Moving on to my favorite drawer. Can you guys guess it before I open it? Hurry, 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 go guess! Oh, yeah, it's the lip product drawer. Seriously, like what is wrong with me? But do you see all that pink? I think I really do seriously have a problem. But getting into this, I do want to talk about the organizer first because this is the same exact organizer as the face drawer, but I did forget until I saw this drawer that each one of the 7 compartment organizers do come with one of these lipstick holders. So I do have 2 in the front section. Like, see how this section is really big where I have all of my powders? So I have 2 of the lipstick holders side by side in that compartment. I hope that makes sense. Hopefully with the link you guys will be able to see what these organizers are actually like, because when you buy them, the lipstick portion actually fits into this very skinny portion here perfectly, but they are removable. So I've just moved mine around. I hope that makes sense. But enough talking, and let's finally get onto the products. So in the back here I have a lot of the balm sticks, or whatever you want to call those, a lot from Revlon, and also a few from Neutrogena, these Moisture Smooth color sticks, which I really enjoy. And then I have a lot of my show off lip lacquers. I even have some more of the matte ones downstairs, but I'm still trying those out, so these are just all the lacquer ones. And I'd say my favorite 2 are probably these 2 right here. The red, which is called Big Bang, and then also Apocalyptic, which is this fuchsia. Could you guess? And then in here I just have 2 of the Kors lip butters, one in mango, one in guava, and these 2 I don't love as much as like the wild rose or the plum one. And then I also have this lip balm from our friend's wedding, and this was from Tori and Brandon's wedding. So hi Tori and Brandon if you're watching this. And this little wedding favor was so cute. It says our love is the balm, and I thought it was so funny, so I keep that in here. And then I also have 2 little lipstick samples, one from, oh yeah, like look at that color, that's seriously just beautiful. This is from Urban Decay, and this is in Anarchy. And then I think this next one is from Bare Minerals, and it is, and this is in Moxie, and I do remember getting this from like Ipsy or Birchbox. In the middle here I have all, yes, all of my lip glosses, and you should be able to tell what I like better than lip glosses, and that is lipstick, because I only have a few lip glosses and then everything else is obviously lipstick. Some of my favorites though in here is this one from Chanel, and I always get this one wrong, but if you're looking for a beautiful red, shimmery, shiny, glittery gloss, this stuff is amazing. And this is in my Rhea Day or something like that, number 106, but it's beautiful. Another one of my favorites is this Buxom one, and I feel like these are like a high shine lip something. I can't remember the exact name, but this is in Berry Blast, and if you want a very, very, kind of can be worn on its own because it definitely is opaque, but it's very, very glossy and shiny, and it's just beautiful, and it's also pepperminty. Next up are some highlighters and concealers, and I guess these are in here just because I ran out of room in my other drawer. But in here I have the Undercover Pot from Laura Mercier. I also have the kind of salmon-y Bobbi Brown corrector, which I really do like. I have the Hard Candy Glamouflage. I have this Age Rewind one from, what is this, Maybelline? Yeah, and I don't really care for it that much. I mean, I wasn't a super big fan. I also have some stuff from IT Cosmetics, and also, is this from NARS? Yeah, this is one of my favorite concealers, actually. Lily in that tail, I swear. But this is the Radiant Creamy Concealer, and I do really like it. I just haven't been using it a lot recently. Moving on to highlighters, I have my all-time favorite e.l.f. Shimmer Kit, or Shimmer Palette. This stuff is amazing. I seriously think that this is like my most used highlighter. I also have a highlighter from Mary Kay, a little sample of the What's Up stuff from Benefit, and a few just other odds and ends from like beauty subscriptions and stuff. And then we might as well go over some of this random stuff sitting here on the side. Back here I just have some tools like little mirrors and stuff, and like eyelash or like mascara cards that you can hold so like the mascara doesn't get all over your face. I also have a few lipsticks or lip products, I guess, that wouldn't fit into the little sections. One from Flower Beauty, and then this huge lip smacker chapstick in strawberry. I also have some tweezers back in there, and then also a MAC lipstick, which I haven't worn, and I really don't care for the shade anymore, but this is the Viva Glam Rihanna, and I mean, if you guys want to see it, I'll take it out for you, but this is just a very, very interesting red, and they sold this a while ago, but it just comes in that red packaging, and then it also, it's almost like a warmy red, I guess. I mean, it's not looking that bad now, but it almost has like an iridescence on the lips, so I don't wear that a whole lot, and just because I have the box, I do keep it in there. And then moving on to my tiny little collection of lip liners, I seriously have like 4 or 5, and one's a nude color, that's I guess universal, but I have one from Lipstick Queen, and this is actually translucent too, which is really neat. And then also just a few, I have a few reds, and then this one, which is actually really pretty, this pinky one from Starlux, which I probably would have had to get in like Ipsy. Before getting into the lipsticks, I do have one more thing in the front here, and this is just a little baggie of brushes that I don't use a lot. I recently cleaned out my brushes, and I just decided to declutter them, I guess, so I put all of the extras, the ones that I don't use a whole lot, in this little baggie, and I just keep it in the front here. Getting on to lipstick now, you guys are probably thinking, Lacey, where the heck are all of your lipsticks? Because you definitely have to have more than this, and I do, and they're all downstairs where I get ready at my vanity. So I really just keep ones up here that I don't wear a lot, but are ones that I don't always reach for, or that I just don't wear all of the time. So I have a few from e.l.f. in here, a few of the Revlon ones that I just don't wear all the time, and then these two I'm actually going to take out because these are some of my favorite ones from Sephora, and these are just from the Sephora brand, and this one in particular is one of my favorites. It's in Hot Bikini, but I also have this almost very cool pink one in Cougar, which I mean, seriously, like for this time of year, that's gorgeous. I have a random one in Kiss Me Coral from Revlon, one of these very long wearing ones from the L'Oreal line in Beyonce Red. I also have one of my other favorite lip products in here. This is the Neutrogena Revitalizing Lip Balm in Sunny Berry, and I love this stuff. It's a very comfortable, very opaque, but it just still gives a very natural look to the lips, and I love it so, so much. I have a Lipstick Queen lipstick, one from Lancome, 2 of the NYX Butter lipsticks, which are very, very comfortable as well. And then this last one is from CoverGirl, and you can tell how dang old this is from the packaging, I'm sure, because this one I have had for so long. It's in 485, and I feel, oh my gosh, why am I dropping everything? I feel like the color name of this was like watermelon or something. I don't know why it's not written on here, but this is one of the very, very first lipsticks I started wearing regularly when I really started getting into color. With a few drawers left, these are going to only contain a few items each, so they should go pretty quickly, hopefully. This first one has one of my all-time favorite makeup items in it, and this is the Christmas palette from Lorac from a few years ago, and this is the candy bar one, and as you can tell, it has like all of these little palettes which look like candy bars, which are seriously like the cutest things in the entire world, and Jerome actually got this for me when he got me my vanity, so I was really, really surprised, and I thought it was super thoughtful. But my favorite one out of all of these is the Ooh La La Vanilla one, and I seriously use this all the time, but all of them are gorgeous and I love every single one. Getting that out of the way though, I do have this little thing from e.l.f. which all of the brushes fit in. I do have a few of them downstairs in my little brush holder or whatever to use on an everyday basis, but I thought that this would be nice to keep and have on hand. And then seriously, all else I have in here are empty MAC pots, I guess, from their eyeshadows, and I'm gonna save them to do the back to MAC thing, and I just removed them by using a YouTube video actually, and it wasn't too tricky, but I mean, there's tons of videos on those, and it could be a little dangerous because it involves fire, but luckily I didn't have any mishaps. And then I just have the lid to my Nourish Your Glow foundation because I have the extra pump that you can buy like on the side, and the lid does not fit over that. So just for travel reasons or whatever, I thought it'd be important to keep it. And last but not least, the very last drawer has a very weird looking machine in it, and this is actually my airbrush machine for when I do weddings. And I got this from a family friend who works at Bride Face. She actually uses this, and seriously guys, the way that this foundation goes on, it's seriously stunning, and the results are so, so nice. So I always have that on hand just in case I do any weddings. And then I also have this lip product from, or like this lip little trio from e.l.f. from their holiday collection, and I just loved it because it has a lot of reds and stuff in it, so I really need to open it still, but I just haven't gotten around to it. And then I just have the old thing that I used to keep my brushes in before I got my little spinning wheel, and this was really helpful. I got it at Target. I haven't seen them recently though, but this was really nice because of the compartments and then also because you could throw it in the dishwasher. And two more things are hiding back here, one of which is my package of business cards, and I really don't use these very often at all because stupidly enough I put my address on them. Like seriously, I don't know why I did that, but those are there in case I ever want to put one in a jar to win like a free meal at a restaurant. Because have you seen those little jars where you can throw in a business card? So that's kind of the only reason I have them and the only way I use them. That's embarrassing. I shouldn't have said that. And last but not least, I have this very inconspicuous little box. I mean, seriously, you think like nothing's in here, but when I remove this, the magic happens, because all of these are just little individual lashes that I use when I do bride makeups or even like makeups for prom and stuff. So how was that, guys? I really hope you enjoyed my updated makeup collection video, and I just love doing these even for like my personal benefit because I love looking back and seeing how I used to store my makeup. It's just so funny to me how we as people change things so much and find new ways of doing things. So please let me know down below how you guys store your makeup or any tips and tricks that you guys have that you think I'd like. As always, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Please give this video a huge thumbs up if you love makeup collection videos, and I'll see you guys next time.